The reason you fear quiet people has nothing to do with them being unpredictable. It has everything to do with them being unreadable. You know the exact feeling. You are sitting across from someone who refuses to fill the dead air. They just sit there, watching, waiting, letting the silence stretch out until it starts to claw at your skin. Your stomach tightens. Your throat goes dry. You start talking too much. You over-explain. You give away details you never planned to share, all because the silence made you feel like you were on trial. This is not a summary of basic communication tips. This is a roadmap to understanding the most overlooked source of genuine power in modern society, the weaponized silence of the quiet mind. This is different from the anxiety-driven silence you were taught to fear. This is the deliberate quiet. By the end of this audio, you will understand exactly why the loudest person in the room is always the weakest. You will see how quiet people systematically dismantle egos without raising their voices, and you will learn how to cultivate this exact same unshakable presence for yourself. Loud people are easy to defeat. They telegraph every move. They announce their insecurities. They demand attention because they cannot survive without validation. But the quiet person is a black box. You send signals into them and nothing comes back out. You get no reaction. You get no emotional feedback. This is terrifying to a world built on constant noise. Think about the last time you tried to insult someone or test their boundaries. If they yelled back, you knew you won. You got under their skin. You controlled their emotional state. But if they just looked at you, completely unbothered, you felt a chill. You felt a sudden drop in your own power. That is the danger of the quiet person. They refuse to play the game of emotional ping-pong. And this changes everything. Society trains you to believe that silence means weakness. You are taught that the people who do not speak up are afraid. You think the quiet kid in the back of the room is shy. You think the coworker who keeps to themselves lacks confidence. This is the greatest lie in social psychology. Quietness is rarely a lack of confidence. It is an abundance of control. Most people speak because they cannot handle the tension of silence. They talk to fill the void. They talk to prove they are smart. They talk to establish dominance. But every time you open your mouth without a purpose, you leak power, you hand over your leverage, you expose your hand. Here is what you are missing about the loud majority. They are operating from a place of constant desperation. The person who talks the most is usually the person who fears being forgotten the most. They need you to see them. They need you to validate their existence. This makes them incredibly easy to manipulate. You just feed their ego. You let them talk. They will eventually trap themselves in their own words. The quiet person does not have this vulnerability. They do not need you to see them. They are perfectly content observing you. While you are busy performing for the room, the quiet person is downloading your entire psychological profile. They notice your tics. They notice who you seek approval from. They notice when your smile is fake. They notice the micro shifts in your posture when certain topics come up. This is the part most people never hear. Quiet people are not passive. They are aggressively observant. There is a massive difference between listening to respond and listening to understand. Most people do the first one. They wait for you to stop talking so they can start. The quiet person does the second one. They absorb everything you say. They file it away. They build a map of your mind. You are not angry at them. You are angry at the pattern. You are angry because you keep meeting people who see right through you. You keep encountering situations where your volume gets you nowhere. The pattern is your reliance on noise. You think if you just explain yourself better, if you speak louder, if you use more words, you will finally win. But the quiet person beats you by simply standing still. Let us look at the psychology behind this. Human beings are meaning-making machines. We hate ambiguity. When someone is loud, we know exactly what they want. When someone is angry, we know what they are against. But when someone is quiet, our brains panic. The brain says, I do not know what this person is thinking. They might be judging me. They might be planning something. They might be superior to me. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. Your brain will almost always assign a negative intent to silence. If someone does not text back immediately, you assume they are mad. If someone stares at you without smiling, you assume they do not like you. The quiet person uses the psychological flaw to their advantage. By giving you nothing, they force you to fill in the blanks. And whatever you fill in is a reflection of your own deepest insecurities. You reveal yourself to them without them having to ask a single question. If you are insecure about your intelligence, you will assume the quiet person thinks you are stupid. You will start trying to prove how smart you are. If you are insecure about your status, you will assume the quiet person looks down on you. You will start dropping names and mentioning your achievements. The quiet person just sits there, nods, and watches you unravel. Now, here is the part that hits hardest. This is not a manipulation tactic they read in a book. It is a natural byproduct of self-containment. Truly dangerous people do not need to manipulate you. They just let you manipulate yourself. They hold the space. They maintain the tension. They let the silence do the heavy lifting. Think about a negotiation. The salesperson gives their pitch. They list the benefits. They handle the objections. Then they ask for the sale. The client crosses their arms. They look down. They say nothing. What happens? The salesperson starts to sweat. The silence feels like a rejection. So they break it. They offer a discount. They add a bonus. They give away their leverage simply because they could not handle 5 seconds of dead air. The quiet client did nothing. They just existed. But their silence forced the salesperson into a panic. The salesperson negotiated against themselves. This is why quiet people are dangerous in business, in relationships, and in conflict. They understand the economics of attention. Attention is a finite resource. When you speak, you spend it. When you are silent, you save it. And the person with the most attention saved always wins. But here is the thing nobody tells you about being quiet. It requires an immense amount of emotional regulation. You cannot be quiet if you are boiling over inside. If your heart is racing, your body will find a way to leak that anxiety. You will tap your foot. You will bite your lip. You will look away too quickly. True quiet is physical. It means your nervous system is settled. It means your heart rate is low. It means you'll feel safe in the unknown. This is why most people cannot do it. Most people use talking as a physical release valve. When they feel an uncomfortable emotion, they talk to let the pressure out. The quiet person has learned to sit with the pressure. They do not release the valve. They let the pressure build inside them, and they use it to sharpen their focus. They transmute the anxiety into observation. Let us look at relationships. The loudest complaints in a relationship usually come from the weakest partner. They yell, they cry, they threaten, they beg. They use all of this volume to try and force a reaction out of the other person. They are saying, please care. Please show me I matter. Please give me a sign. The quiet partner does not engage in this. They do not yell back. They do not defend themselves. They just listen. They watch the tantrum unfold. They see the raw emotion pouring out. And when the loud partner finally runs out of steam, they feel empty. They feel foolish. They realize they just handed over all their power. They showed all their cards. The quiet partner still has their cards. They have their dignity. They have their clarity. And this changes everything in how we view strength. Strength is not about who can scream the loudest. Strength is about who can remain seated when everyone else is standing and shouting. Strength is the ability to look at chaos and refuse to absorb it. Here is where it gets uncomfortable for you. You have been taught your whole life to communicate. You have been told that healthy communication means expressing every feeling you have. You have been told that holding things in is toxic. This is a lie pushed by a culture that is addicted to emotional dumping. Expressing every feeling you have does not make you healthy. It makes you a slave to your emotions. It means you have no filter. It means your internal state is completely dictated by external events. If someone makes you mad, you get mad. If someone makes you sad, you get sad. You are a puppet. The quiet person cuts the strings. They feel the anger. They feel the sadness. But they do not perform it. They process it internally. They decide if it is worth sharing. Most of the time, it is not. Here is the part most people never hear. When you stop reacting to everything, you break the social contract that everyone else is blindly following. People expect a certain script. They insult you. You insult them back. They tease you. You insult them back. They tease you. You laugh. They challenge you. You defend yourself. The quiet person rips up the script. They offer a blank stare instead of a defense. This short-circuits the other person's brain. They do not know what to do. They were prepared for a battle. They were not prepared for silence. Let us go back to high school. Think about the kid who sat in the back of the class. He did not talk much. He did not try to be popular. When the bullies tried to target him, he did not flinch. He did not cry. He did not run. He just looked at them. His eyes were dead. He felt no fear. What happened? The bullies moved on. They wanted an easy target. They wanted someone who would react. The quiet kid was too dangerous to mess with. There was no payoff. No emotional blood to drink. This applies to your adult life exactly the same way. Narcissists and manipulators feed on your reactions. They need your emotional energy to survive. When you scream at a narcissist, you are feeding them. When you argue with a manipulator, you are giving them the data they need to control you. The quiet person starves them. The quiet person offers a stone wall. The manipulator throws everything they have at the wall, and nothing sticks. Eventually, the manipulator leaves. They go find someone louder, someone easier to read. Now here is the part that hits hardest. You can be this person. You do not have to be born quiet. You can train yourself to become dangerous. It starts with the pause. The pause is the most powerful tool in human communication. When someone asks you a question, do not answer immediately. Count to 3 in your head. Let the silence hang. Look them in the eye. Then answer. Most people rush to answer because they are afraid the person will think they are stupid, but the pause does the opposite. It makes you look thoughtful. It makes you look powerful. It makes them wait for you. When someone insults you, pause. Let the insult hang in the air. Do not defend. Do not attack. Just look at them. The insult will start to look ridiculous. The silence will magnify their insecurity. They will start to backtrack. They will feel small. Here's what you are missing about eye contact. You think eye contact is about dominance. You think you have to stare someone down. That is aggression. That is noise. True quiet power in eye contact is about stillness. You look at them softly. You do not blink rapidly. You do not dart your eyes. You let your gaze rest on them like a heavy blanket. It is calm. It is steady. It is completely unnerving. When you combine silence with a steady gaze, you become untouchable. People will start to treat you differently. They will choose their words carefully around you. They will stop wasting your time with nonsense. They will feel a deep respect for you, even if they cannot explain why. This is the part most people never hear. Respect is not demanded through volume. Respect is commanded through restraint. The person who talks less is automatically perceived as having higher value. Think about it. If someone talks constantly, their words are cheap. Supply and demand. If someone rarely speaks, when they finally do open their mouth, the entire room stops. They lean in. They listen. Because those words cost something. Let us look at the identity of the quiet person. They do not derive their identity from other people. The loud person needs the room to know who they are. They wear their identity on their sleeve. They announce their job, their income, their political views. The quiet person keeps their identity locked in a vault. You only see what they allow you to see. This creates an aura of mystery. Mystery is the ultimate form of social power. Because people are obsessed with solving mysteries, if they cannot figure you out, they will project greatness onto you. They will assume you are smarter than you are. They will assume you are wealthier than you are. They will assume you are more connected than you are. Your silence becomes a magnet for their wild imaginations. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. To become this person, you have to kill your need to be understood. This is the hardest thing you will ever do. You want people to know your heart. You want people to know your intentions. You want to explain yourself so you are not misunderstood. You have to let all of that go. Being misunderstood is a superpower. When people misunderstand you, they underestimate you. They let their guard down. They show you who they really are because they think you are not a threat. By the time they realize you are a threat, it is too late. You have already mapped out their weaknesses. You have already secured your position. Let us look at conflict resolution. Two people are arguing. One is screaming, listing grievances, bringing up the past. The other is standing perfectly still, hands relaxed, breathing slow. The screamer is burning through their energy. Their logic is getting sloppy. Their emotions are taking over. The quiet one is conserving their energy. They are waiting. When the screamer finally stops, the quiet one speaks 3 sentences. Those 3 sentences completely dismantle the argument. Why? Because the quiet one was listening. They found the flaw in the logic. They found the emotional vulnerability. They struck with precision. And this changes everything about how you approach fights. You do not need to win a screaming match. You just need to outlast them. You need to be the last one standing. Silence is the ultimate endurance tool. Here is the thing nobody tells you about anger. Anger makes you stupid. Anger restricts blood flow to your prefrontal cortex. You literally lose the ability to think logically. The quiet person knows this. They know that if they engage while angry, they will make a mistake. So they step back. They go silent. They let the anger pass through them. They wait until the logical brain comes back online. Then they act. This is why quiet people are so dangerous in warfare, in business, and in politics. They never fight battles of emotion. They only fight battles of logic. And they never fight on the enemy terms. But here is what you are missing about this process. It feels terrible at first. When you first start practicing silence, your body will fight you. You will feel the urge to speak rising in your chest like a physical pressure. You will feel anxious. You will feel like you are losing. You have to push through this. You have to teach your nervous system that silence is safe. You have to prove to your brain that you do not need to perform to survive. Start small. Go to a coffee shop. Do not look at your phone. Do not read a book. Just sit there. Let people look at you. Let them wonder what you are doing. Sit with the discomfort of having no distraction. This is the first step to building your tolerance for tension. This is the part most people never hear. Your phone is your biggest weakness. You use it to escape the silence. You pull it out in elevators. You pull it out at red lights. You pull it out when you are sitting with a friend and the conversation dies. By doing this, you are telling your brain that silence is a threat. You are training yourself to be weak. Put the phone away. Learn to exist in the void. Now here is the part that hits hardest. When you master silence, you master yourself. You stop being a victim of your environment. You stop being swept up in the emotional currents of everyone around you. You become an anchor. Let us look at how this applies to leadership. The worst leaders are the ones who talk constantly. They micromanage. They give endless instructions. They criticize every little mistake. Their teams are stressed and unproductive. The best leaders are quiet. They set the vision. They assign the tasks. Then they step back. They let their people work. They observe from a distance. When they do speak, it is only to offer guidance or praise. Their words carry massive weight. When a quiet leader says "good job," it means the world, because you know they do not throw compliments around. And this changes everything for your career. If you want to rise in your field, stop trying to be the loudest voice in the meeting. Stop trying to prove how much you know. Listen. Take notes. Observe the dynamics. When someone asks for your opinion, deliver it calmly and concisely. Do not add filler words. Do not over-explain. State your point and stop talking. People will start to view you as an authority figure. They will seek your approval. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. You will lose some friends. Loud, insecure people hate quiet people. Your silence will trigger them. They will accuse you of being arrogant. They will say you think you are better than them. They will try to provoke a reaction out of you. Do not give them one. Let them project their insecurities onto you. Let them walk away. Those are not your friends. Your real friends will respect your quiet. They will feel comfortable in your silence. They will not need you to entertain them. This is the part most people never hear. True connection does not require constant chatter. The highest level of intimacy is sitting in a room with someone and not needing to say a word. The silence is comfortable. It is warm. It is full of understanding. If you have to talk constantly to maintain a relationship, that relationship is shallow. Let us look at the dark side of this. Some people are quiet because they are broken. They are quiet out of fear. They are quiet because they have been traumatized. This is not the power I am talking about. Fearful silence is shrinking. It is hiding. It is making yourself small. Dangerous quietness is expanding. It is taking up space without apologizing. It is standing tall. It is holding your ground. The fearful quiet person avoids eye contact. The dangerous quiet person locks eyes. The fearful quiet person speaks softly and trails off. The dangerous quiet person speaks clearly and ends their sentences with a period. You have to know the difference. You have to make sure your silence is coming from a place of power, not a place of pain. If you are silent because you are afraid of conflict, you are weak. If you are silent because you are observing the conflict and choosing not to engage, you are strong. Here is the thing nobody tells you about boundaries. You do not need to scream to set a boundary. You do not need to write a long paragraph explaining why someone hurt you. The strongest boundary is silence. When someone crosses your line, you do not argue. You withdraw your presence. You pull back your energy. You stop responding. Silence is a consequence. It tells the other person, your behavior has cost you access to me. This is far more painful than a screaming match. A screaming match tells them you still care. Silence tells them you are done. And this changes everything in dating. The person who cares the least in a relationship holds the most power. This is a harsh truth. The person who texts less, calls less, and demands less attention is the person with the power. The quiet person naturally embodies this. They are not playing hard to get. They are just focused on their own life. They do not have time to sit by the phone. This drives people crazy. The louder person will chase them. They will try to crack the code. They will do desperate things to get a reaction. The quiet person remains unbothered. They do not play games. They just live their life. And that simple act of living without needing the other person makes them irresistible. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. You have to be willing to walk away. True power in silence comes from a lack of attachment. If you are silent but secretly desperate for the other person to stay, your silence is fake. Your body language will betray you. You will leak neediness. You have to genuinely accept the possibility of losing the person. You have to be okay with the void they leave behind. When you reach that level of detachment, your silence becomes a weapon of mass destruction. No ego can survive it. No manipulator can counter it. Let us look at how this shapes your mind over time. When you practice deliberate silence, you strengthen your prefrontal cortex. You build the muscle of executive function. You gain the ability to pause between a stimulus and your response. In that pause lies your freedom. In that pause lies your power. Most people have no pause. Stimulus happens, they react. Someone insults them, they insult back. Someone cuts them off in traffic, they honk and yell. They are machines running on automatic programming. The quiet person hacks the program. They insert a gap. They choose their response, or they choose not to respond at all. This is the part most people never hear. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. You can just decline. You can watch the argument happen without participating. It is like watching a storm from inside a sturdy house. You see the lightning, you hear the thunder, but you are safe. You are dry. Here is the part that hits hardest. Silence is the ultimate act of rebellion. We live in a culture that demands your constant engagement. It demands your outrage. It demands your opinion. It demands your attention. Every app, every news channel, every politician wants you to react. They want you to be loud. They want you to be divided. When you choose silence, you starve the beast. You stop feeding the algorithm of chaos. You step off the stage. You become a ghost in the machine. You move through the world undetected. You see the strings pulling everyone else. And because you see the strings, you cannot be controlled. Let us look at the mechanics of observation. When you stop talking, your other senses sharpen. You start hearing the subtext in conversations. You notice the slight hesitation before someone lies. You see the tension in someone's shoulders when they talk about their boss. You start reading the room like a book. Information is the most valuable currency in the world. The loud person is too busy spending information to gather it. The quiet person is a collector. They gather data, they store it, and when the time is right, they use it. Here is what you are missing about vulnerability. Society says you should be vulnerable with everyone. That is dangerous. Vulnerability is a gift. It should only be given to people who have earned your trust. The loud person vomits their vulnerability on strangers. They tell their life story to the person sitting next to them on a plane. They wonder why they get hurt. The quiet person guards their vulnerability. They test people first. They share a small piece of information and watch what the person does with it. If they use it against them, the quiet person locks the vault. They withdraw. They do not confront. They just silently remove the person from their inner circle. And this changes everything about your social life. Quality over quantity. The loud person needs 100 friends to feel validated. The quiet person needs 2, and those 2 friends are fiercely loyal. Because they know the quiet person does not tolerate nonsense. They know the quiet person has standards. This is the part most people never hear. People will project their own issues onto your silence. Because they do not know your story, they will write one for you. And the story they write is always a reflection of their own fears. If they fear rejection, they will think your silence means you are rejecting them. If they fear inadequacy, they will think your silence means you are judging them. Let them think it. Do not correct them. Their projections are not your problem. Your only job is to maintain your center. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. You have to stop explaining your silence. Sometimes someone will ask, "Why are you so quiet?" Do not launch into a defensive explanation. Do not say, "I am just tired," or "I am just listening." Just smile slightly and say, "I am just taking it all in." Then look away. End the conversation. If you explain yourself, you ruin the power of the silence. Let us look at the physical nature of a dangerous quiet person. Their breathing is slow and deep. Their shoulders are down. Their jaw is unclenched. Their hands are still. They move deliberately. They do not fidget. Fidgeting is a sign of a racing mind. Stillness is a sign of a controlled mind. When you enter a room, do not rush. Walk in slowly. Scan the room. Find your target or your seat. Move toward it with purpose. Do not look around nervously. Do not seek eye contact. Just move. People will notice your calm energy. They will step out of your way. Energy precedes you. And this changes everything about your presence. Before you even speak a word, people will feel you. They will feel the weight of your silence. They will straighten their posture when you walk by. They will lower their voices, not because they are afraid of you, but because they respect the gravity you carry. Here's the thing nobody tells you about power. Power is quiet. The engine of a luxury car is silent. The cheap car is loud and rattles. The lion does not roar to prove it is a lion. It just exists. The dog barks because it is anxious. The wolf watches because it is calculating. You need to start viewing loud people differently. Stop being intimidated by them. Stop trying to match their energy. When someone is yelling, see them for what they are. They are a sinking ship. They are drowning in their own emotions. They are throwing water over the side. Just watch them sink. Do not jump in to save them. Do not jump in to fight them. Just stand on the shore and watch. This is the part most people never hear. When you stop fearing loud people, you become the most dangerous person in the room. Loud people rely on your fear. They rely on the fact that you will back down. When you stand your ground in perfect silence, they collapse. Their whole strategy falls apart. They have no idea what to do. Let us look at how this applies to criticism. Someone criticizes your work. Your instinct is to defend, to explain why you did what you did, to list the obstacles you faced. Do not do it. Just listen, nod, say thank you for the feedback, walk away. This drives the critic crazy. They wanted a fight. They wanted to feel superior. By just accepting it silently, you starve them of the battle, and more importantly, you protect your own energy. You do not let their opinion infect your mind. You take what is useful and you discard the rest. Now here is the part that hits hardest. You are afraid of silence because you are afraid of yourself. This is the root of the whole problem. People talk constantly because they cannot stand being alone with their own thoughts. The silence forces them to face their demons. It forces them to feel their anxiety. It forces them to look at their failures. So they talk. They turn on the TV. They call a friend. They go to a loud bar. Anything to drown out the voice in their head. The quiet person has made peace with their demons. They have sat in the dark with their thoughts. They have felt the anxiety and let it pass. Because they are not afraid of themselves, they are not afraid of the silence. Here is what you are missing about self-mastery. You cannot master others until you master yourself. And you cannot master yourself until you can sit in silence with your own mind for 10 minutes without flinching. This is the baseline test of mental strength. Try it tonight. Turn off all screens. Sit in a chair. Close your eyes. Do not meditate. Do not chant. Just sit. Let your thoughts run wild. Let the anxiety spike. Let the boredom crush you. Do not move. Do not open your eyes. Just endure it. If you can do this, you can do anything, because everything else in life is just a variation of this test. Can you handle the tension? Can you handle the discomfort? Can you stay still when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to move? This is the part most people never hear. The quiet person is not born. They are forged. They are forged in the fires of their own mind. They have walked through the valley of their own shadows and come out the other side. That is why they are dangerous. They have nothing left to fear from themselves. Let us look at how this impacts your decision-making. Loud people make terrible decisions. They act on impulse. They react to the moment. They buy things they do not need. They say things they do not mean. They send emails they regret. The quiet person makes decisions like a chess grandmaster. They sit back. They look at the whole board. They consider the next 3 moves. They anticipate the opponent's response. They wait until the path is clear. Then they move. And when they move, it is decisive. There is no hesitation. There is no hesitation. There is no second guessing. And this changes everything for your future. Your life is the sum of your decisions. If you make decisions in a state of noise and reactivity, your life will be chaotic. If you make decisions in a state of quiet and stillness, your life will be a masterpiece. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. You will be misunderstood by your family. Your parents might think you are depressed. Your siblings might think you are arrogant. They will push you to be happier, to talk more, to engage more. They want the old you back, the reactive you, the easy-to-manage you. Do not cave. Do not explain your transformation to them. Just keep being quiet. Over time, they will adjust. They will start to respect the new you. They will stop trying to fix you. And if they do not, that is their burden to carry, not yours. Let us look at the concept of the gray rock. This is a psychological strategy used to deal with toxic people. You make yourself as uninteresting and unresponsive as a gray rock. You do not show emotion. You do not argue. You give short, boring answers. The toxic person gets no supply from you. They get bored and leave. This is the ultimate expression of quiet power. You do not fight the toxicity. You just become immune to it. You become a mirror that reflects nothing back. The toxic person sees only their own emptiness staring back at them. It terrifies them. They run. This is the part most people never hear. You do not have to win every battle. In fact, trying to win every battle is the fastest way to lose the war. The quiet person picks their battles. Most battles are beneath them. They only engage when the stakes are high and the outcome is certain. Here is the part that hits hardest. Silence is a shield, but it is also a sword. When used as a sword, it cuts deeper than any insult. Think about the silent treatment. When done maliciously, it is emotional abuse. But when done as a boundary, it is liberation. If someone is draining your energy, you do not need to have a dramatic breakup. You do not need to list their faults. You just stop calling. You stop texting. You stop showing up. You fade into the background. Your absence becomes the message, and your absence is deafening. Here is what you are missing about absence. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but it also makes the mind grow respectful. When you remove your energy from someone, they realize your value. They realize they took you for granted. But by the time they realize it, you are already gone. You have moved on to better things. Let us look at how this applies to your inner circle. Keep your circles small. A small circle is a quiet circle. There is less drama. There is less noise. You can actually hear yourself think. The loud person has a massive circle. They are always dealing with some crisis. They are always putting out fires. Their life is a reality show. The quiet person lives a life of peace. They have a few close friends. They have deep conversations. They spend their time reading, thinking, and building. Their life is a library. It is organized, it is calm, it is full of knowledge, and this changes everything about your daily experience. When you stop engaging in every little drama, your stress levels plummet, your blood pressure drops, your sleep improves, you have more energy, you think more clearly, you look better. Silence is literally medicine for your body. This is the part most people never hear. Your body is listening to your mouth. When you talk constantly, your body is in a state of stress. Your heart rate is elevated. Your cortisol is high. When you are quiet, your body enters a state of rest and digest. Your nervous system relaxes. Your cells repair themselves. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. You use talking as a drug. You use it to numb yourself, just like alcohol, just like food. Just like scrolling. Talking is a way to escape the present moment. You have to get sober. You have to detox from the need to speak. Go on a silence fast. Pick a Saturday. Do not speak for 24 hours. Do not text. Do not email. Just exist. It will be one of the hardest things you ever do. You will feel the urge to speak pulling at you like an addiction. Resist it. By the end of the 24 hours, your mind will be clearer than it has ever been. You will see the world with new eyes. Let us look at how this shapes your aura. An aura is just the energy field you project. The loud person projects an aura of chaos. People feel drained around them. They feel anxious. The quiet person projects an aura of stability. People feel calm around them. They feel safe. They want to be near you because your energy is grounding. You become the anchor in the storm. When everyone else is panicking, they will look to you. They will see your stillness. They will assume you have a plan. Even if you do not, your stillness will give them hope. That is the power of quiet leadership, and this changes everything about your legacy. The loud people are forgotten. Their noise fades into the background of history. The quiet people are the ones who build empires. They are the ones who write the books. They are the ones who write the books. They are the ones who invent the future. They work in silence and let their success make the noise. Here is the thing nobody tells you about confidence. Confidence is not loud. Arrogance is loud. Confidence is quiet. A truly confident person does not need to tell you they are confident. They do not need to list their achievements. They just sit there. Their presence says everything. If you want to be confident, lower your volume. Speak slower. Speak deeper. Pause between sentences. Let your words breathe. When you speak less, you eliminate the filler words. You eliminate the ums and ahs. You sound more intelligent. You sound more intelligent. You sound more authoritative. You sound dangerous. This is the part most people never hear. The most powerful word in the English language is no. And the most powerful way to say no is with silence. When someone asks you to do something you do not want to do, just pause. Look at them. Do not say yes. Do not explain why you cannot. Just hold the silence. They will usually backtrack. They will say, never mind, or it is okay if you cannot. Your silence forced them to solve the problem for you. Let us look at the endgame of this philosophy. What happens when you fully embody the quiet power? You become bulletproof. Words cannot hurt you because you do not absorb them. Rejections cannot destroy you because you do not seek validation. You walk through the world like a ghost. You observe everything. You are attached to nothing. You stop trying to control others. You realize the only thing you can control is your own reaction. And by controlling your reaction, you control the entire dynamic. The other person is dancing to a tune you are not even playing. They are exhausted. You are refreshed. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. This path is lonely. Not everyone can walk it. You will feel isolated at times. You will watch people laughing and shouting, and you will wonder if you are missing out. You are not. You are waking up while they are still asleep. Embrace the loneliness. It is the price of admission for true power. The lone wolf is stronger than the pack. The pack relies on each other for validation. The lone wolf relies only on itself. It hunts in silence. It survives in silence. It thrives in silence. It thrives in silence. Let us look at the final shift in your identity. You are no longer the person who reacts. You are no longer the person who gets walked on. You are no longer the person who begs for attention. You are the observer. You are the anchor. You are the quiet storm. When someone tries to provoke you, you will feel a smile tug at the corner of your mouth. You will see their game so clearly that it becomes amusing. You will watch them flail. You will watch them scream. And you will just stand there, unmoved, untouchable. And this changes everything. The world belongs to the quiet. The world belongs to those who can sit in the silence and not run. The world belongs to those who can watch the chaos and not join. The world belongs to those who are dangerous enough to trust themselves. Let the room be loud. Let them fight for the spotlight. Let them exhaust themselves with their words. You just sit back, breathe, watch, wait. Your time will come. And when it does, you will not need to shout. You will just need to whisper, and the whole world will lean in to listen.